All right, guys. We're about 13 hours away from kickoff in Atlanta. Seahawks taking on the Falcons after a tough loss last week, of course. And I don't know what kind of team we are going to have out there tomorrow when we take the field. A lot of question marks, but whatever team we put out there should be able to get a win. That's really all you can say about it. I don't know what our safeties are going to look like. I don't know what our offensive line is going to look like. I could even say I don't really know what our secondary as a whole is going to look like, but whatever we put out there had better be enough to get the win. This is absolutely 100% a textbook get right game for these Seahawks. This is the kind of game where we're coming off a tough loss to the Ravens in a game where things looked like they were going okay, and then at the end things just went completely off the rails and we're all feeling a little down about this team after that game. We're all feeling like, hey, maybe they're not as great as we thought they could be, but this is a textbook get right game for the Seahawks. It cannot be a trap game because we're coming off a loss. This is quite simply an opportunity for especially this offense to remind us how good they can be. Atlanta Falcons, their defense is a mess. They're missing Desmond Trufant, who is one of their best players. And right now, you could really argue he's one of their only good players on defense. Deion Jones has not looked the same since coming back from that, what was it, ACL injury? Something like that. They don't get pressure on the quarterback. They don't cover receivers. They don't do anything well on defense, really. The fact that they are 1-6 with an offense that has honestly been pretty decent so far this season, that that's telling. So I don't know if Dwayne Brown is going to play. I feel like he is. I don't know if Jermaine Ifedi is going to play. I kind of feel like he isn't. I think that Fluker and Fant are going to play. But whatever the hell's going on that offensive line, this is a game for Wilson to get right. We're going to be hitting Lockett and Metcalf and Carson and you know all the usual suspects. We're going to have them. And this is a game where we need to see the offense put up some big, big results. And if we don't, it's time to put guys like Brian Schottenheimer back in the spotlight. As I've been laying off him this year. I've actually said some nice things about Schottenheimer because I feel like he's done some things really well. If we don't see some results in this game in a dome against a Falcons defense that is just miserable, then it's time to start questioning those guys again. And once again, I don't care who we have at offensive line. I don't care who goes out there to block for us. We need to find a way to produce. So that's the offense. I feel good about them, though. I mean, this is not like perform or else. This is more of a I'm really confident that they're going to perform, and if they don't, then I'm going to have some real questions about where this team's offense is headed. But offense should be good for 30, 35, 40 points. Whatever the hell we need to win should be good for that. And defensively, look, there are things about the Falcons that are legit. They have two really great wide receivers, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. As bad as the Falcons have been this year, and I did not expect them to be this bad. I thought that the Falcons were going to have a decent season this year. Those receivers are still ballers, and their passing attack this year has been pretty solid. But the crux of their passing attack this year is crippled. No Matt Ryan. He's going to be out tomorrow. We are going to be seeing the old vet Matt Schaub. So there's really no excuse for this defense to not perform. We will be missing Quentin Jefferson. We will be missing Lano Hill. Unfortunately, we don't know about Bradley McDougald yet. He's questionable. We don't know about Quandre Diggs yet. He's questionable. Anza questionable. Flowers questionable. So, look, this defense has a few problems right now. If you look at the injury report for these Seahawks this week, you might say, hey, I really wish we were on a bye week. Really wish these guys had an extra week to try to get back. But we are sitting on a situation where our safeties might be Tedrick and Blair, which I really don't like, especially against these receivers. We are sitting on a situation where one of our best pass rushers so far this year is not going to be playing. We might be missing our number 2 cornerback. We might be missing one of our key pass rushers. This defense has problems, and this isn't really the matchup you want when your defense is having problems, because this Falcons team can air it out. But, with Matt Schaub out there, we really should be able to make some things happen. And they also got no James Carpenter. I think we all know a little bit about that guy. And they also got no Ito Smith. So they're missing some key guys of their own. And look, defensive line might be a little banged up, but I expect them to go out there and perform tomorrow. The secondary, again, really banged up. We might be missing 4 key guys in the secondary, but look, whatever it may be, whoever it is we put out there, it's really time to see that front line start to get to the quarterback and just disrupt him. The excuses are starting to run out, and I always said before this season started, I thought to myself, this pass rush might not be very good until December, because it's going to take a while for the guys to get back and then get integrated into the defense. But we need to start seeing signs of growth. We need to start seeing some degree of pressure on the quarterback. Last week, we got a little bit on Lamar Jackson. We did get a cheap sack, but the last 3 weeks now, the pass rush has been almost invisible. And this is the kind of game where the secondary might need a shot in the arm. And the best way to get it would be to just disrupt Matt Schaub and push him off his spot. And he was never a quarterback to handle pressure all that well anyway. So basically, I really, really just need to see something from this pass rush this week. If we don't, I think we can still win against this terrible Falcons defense, but it's really getting to the point where if we don't see some signs of life from this pass rush soon, I don't think it's in Pete Carroll's nature to fire a coach mid-season, but it's really time to start thinking about it with Ken Norton, because we will have extensive evidence that he's not getting the job done. All right, short preview video, but there's not a ton to say about this game, guys. Terrible team that has basically punted on the season, team with their backup quarterback in there. And we have a lot of injuries, but losing your quarterback is more impactful than probably all of our guys combined. It really is. And Matt Ryan, he's been turning it over a little bit, but he's having a pretty decent season, so that's a loss. That's a loss that costs you points over the course of a 60-minute game. So take advantage, get this win. 6-2, I mean, the way this team has played through 7 games, you wouldn't really pin them as being a 5-2 or 6-2 team, but if we can get there, hey, then there's time for us to improve as the second half of the season starts, and we can actually make something with this. But you won't be hearing any talk like that out of me if we don't win tomorrow. So go Hawks. I'll make a video tomorrow after the game. See you guys later. Just got to keep winning.